coming up, I would like to say that what we need to handle all these problems is emotional intelligence. Without emotional intelligence, we will not be able to take care of all this. Can you see my slideshow?
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so let's make do with this because this is the theme of the day. Emotional intelligence helps us to handle criticism. It helps us to handle problems of all kinds. What is emotional intelligence? It is an ability to handle people and situations in a calm and balanced manner. Instead of getting into various kinds of other problems, we handle situations in a calm and balanced manner. Can you see the second slide takeaways?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So I'll continue with this PPT. So what are the takeaways from my presentation? Firstly, seeing the bigger picture. That means we are able to handle stress in a better way. We become calmer people. We understand our colleagues in a better way. We have balanced leadership skills and what I call people skills. One is computer skills, one is theoretical skills. The third is people skills. That means how do I talk? How do I react? How do I respond? Reduced tendency or proclivity towards anger. Cheerfulness instead of irritability. Now, are we all leaders? Yes, we are all leaders. All of you in this conference or meeting are leaders. Even a 4-year-old child is a leader because a 2-year-old child is looking up to the 4-year-old child, learning from the 4-year-old. And the 4-year-old child thinks that she or he is very mature because she or he has a 2-year-old sibling, little brother or sister. So she becomes or he becomes a leader. As grown-ups, we are definitely leaders because everybody's looking at us, somebody is following us, some neighbor's child or some nephew or some child of our own, or some students or some juniors, somebody is following us. We need to be models of what we say. We cannot be something else and do something else. That means if I say to my children, now you are 18 years old, you have got a driving license, please don't cross the red light. But if I am crossing the red light in front of them all my life, then I have no right to say that to them. So I have to be what I say. If I have positive thinking and I have understanding of other people, and if I have what is called a degree in people, which I will explain a little later, then I have emotional intelligence. If somebody says something to me, criticizes me, I am able to respond in a calm manner because I realize that this person either doesn't mean any harm or this person does not deserve my own peace of mind to be disturbed. If somebody is provoking you deliberately, he or she does not deserve your calmness to be shattered. You need to maintain that calmness despite such attacks. Your temple of calmness is within you. And those of you who meditate, those of you who are spiritual, you will understand that when we are meditating or when we have more faith in God or the Almighty, we find more calmness. This is not a religious point, it's a spiritual point. All of us have to focus on inner calmness to be able to have emotional intelligence. Balance is also a key. Balance means I don't overdo anything. Yes, I think my video is also visible now. Visible?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, yes, definitely.
All right. So I'll continue with the PPT for a while, then I'll speak without the PPT. Balance is also very, very important. What happens in balance is that we are able to not go overboard in anything. You don't go overboard. That means I'm not too much into money, not too much into power, not too much into one thing. I'm not addicted to something like alcohol or anything, gambling. I'm not addicted to success. I'm not addicted to power. So I'm balanced. I take time out for my family. I take time out for music, art, literature. These are the kinds of qualities you need. The positive thinker sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. Maybe not the impossible, but he does much better than everybody else. Narayan Murthy is a very good example. Most of you are engineers. I'm also an engineer. Narayan Murthy started Infosys with 4 people, 4 of the engineers. They were shattered for the first 2 years, getting no success. Everybody else said, shut it down. He said, no. They went on, and today they have more than 2 lakh people. You understand the ethics of the company are also very high level. I've been director IT of Chandigarh. I can tell you that I have seen Infosys working very closely. I have seen others, and Infosys, Tata's, and even Wipro. I must say these types of companies, they stand out in terms of ethics and value. That's why I'm mentioning Narayan Murthy. What did JRD Tata do? JRD Tata and Narayan Murthy have a common story in terms of his wife, Murthy's wife, Sudha Murthy, who's an author. She was a young employee of Tata's, and JRD Saab came out one day of the head office. His Mercedes was waiting, driver was waiting. Chairman Saab, 75 years old almost, and he came out. He saw this young little girl in a sari, 20 something, standing. He said, "What are you doing, young lady?" She said, "Sir, my car has not come. I'm waiting." No mobile phones were there, nothing, no way to find out. The car took 20 minutes more to come. JRD stood with Sudha Murthy. She was not even Sudha Murthy, she was unmarried. He did not know that she will be married to a famous man one day. She herself will become so famous as an author. He just stood with her because she was feeling nervous and scared because the car had not come. The driver is waiting, the PA is waiting, people are waiting at home, but the chairman is standing with the junior most employee. This kind of leadership skills and empathy is what really inspires. When I say degree in people, I give the example of Mike Brearley. Mike Brearley was the captain of England cricket team. When Brearley was captain, they won almost all the test matches. Ian Botham, Graham Gooch, and all David Gower were in his team. Brearley's batting average was only 20 something. That means he was not good enough to be a batsman in the England cricket team. He was so good as a captain. He understood Ian Botham types of people who were so aggressive and David Gower types of people who were so calm. He could get the best out of both of them. Just skip through this. I'll go to calmness. When we are calm, then we don't react to provocation. If somebody criticizes you at workplace, somebody criticizes you at home, somebody criticizes you from your relatives, it is how you react that matters. So to continue my story, when I go to the heavens, God will ask me, how did I react to situations? He will not ask me or sympathize with me that, yes, so-and-so was your enemy and he was troubling you. Oh, that's very bad. Poor you. He will not say that. He will say, how did you react? But when that fellow goes up to meet him when his life is over, then he will ask him, Tune kya kiya? Why were you so bad to that boy? So this is the kind of life that we need to lead. This is a spiritual story which I told you, but it is a very apt story. We cannot be complaining. मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ? Why am I in so much stress? Why are so many people against me? The moment you raise your consciousness to a higher level, then you will understand that life becomes much more meaningful and better. If you take the example of the pond, when the water is still, then the moon's reflection can be seen clearly. When the water is ruffled, the moon's reflection is distorted. When our mind is ruffled, we can't take the right decision. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, rush, driving fast. End of the day also we are tired and we are jumpy, irritable. We have to ask ourselves this last question. Does it really matter that I'm getting so agitated? I'll go to one or two more of this and then I'll stop the PPT. This question we have to ask ourselves every day. I am running through my engineering career, my job, my entrepreneurship. I'm trying to make my business do well. I have a little school which shut down. I have a little problem shop or a little business which is in trouble. Ultimately, what is life about? Of course, life is about being comfortable. You have to have your own. You have to have your own resources. You have to have a car, maybe a house, maybe a place to live which is comfortable. But do we need that bigger car? Do we need the biggest car? Do we need that biggest house? Human beings are never satisfied with what they have. Even Brad Pitt got separated, right? Even Jeff Bezos got separated. So the most famous person and the richest person got separated from their wives. Why? Because they're not content. They don't realize that life is about something else. A car which functions well on the road, even if it is the lowest denominator car, is getting you from Ambala to Chandigarh or from Delhi to Noida. Doesn't really matter whether you are in luxury or whether you are in a comfort. So therefore, we have to understand that we have to spend more time with family. We have to spread sunshine, create happy memories, go for more picnics. In lockdown time, we have had a chance to spend time with our loved ones. Of course, it has created problems for families. I saw an advertisement in the IPL matches where the husband is sitting inside the cupboard to work from home from inside the cupboard. And the wife opens the cupboard and finds ये यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं laptop लेके because he is getting disturbed by the ruckus in the house. So life is about finding cheerful moments and not stressing out too much. Look at him. No better example in the world of emotional intelligence and calmness than Barack Obama. Barack Obama, as the president of the United States for 8 years, never ruffled, never angry, never throwing tantrums, never bad-mouthing any other country, never swearing at anyone, never doing anything like the present fellow does. Never. And I know that you are an international organization, but we have to understand that different personalities are different leaders, different human beings in the same position. So we have to understand and appreciate the quality of being emotionally intelligent, calm, balanced, cheerful. These are extremely important steps which you must take in order to be comfortable in life. Now let me stop this one, the PPT. I like this IPL में जैसे होता है ना ओवर के बीच में म्यूजिक आ जाता है. I like it. Very nice. Can somebody help me with this thing? Stop sharing. I can't see the option. Okay, you can look at this slide in the meantime. Paramahansa Yogananda, author of the autobiography of a yogi, this is the answer to our topic of the day. Be calmly active and actively calm. What does it mean? It means I have to be calm. I have to be active and calm at the same time. It's not only when I'm sitting at home and relaxing at the end of the day that I have to be calm. But at that time, Arnab Goswami on the television would not let us be calm. He will spoil our peace. So don't watch Arnab Goswami. Don't watch anybody. No TV news. But the point is, we have to make an effort to be calm. And criticism or any negativity will not hurt us in that. That is the biggest plus point that you can have. Okay, now let me try to stop the share.
Yes, sir. Can she be
I'm
present?
just trying to stop the slideshow. Let me see. Okay. Anyway, you can see me in the small window, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
then
sir.
let's carry on with that. Okay, so I am basically trying to say to you with this picture in front of me that calmness is something that is absolutely vital to our success. If we talk of success in life, I have my book here. I wrote a book called Finding Success Within. This is the book. You can see it. I'll show you a close up. Finding Success Within. And this is a book about 52 life skills or career skills that I feel are more important for people in life. It's available on Amazon. This was released in March this year. It's my third book. I have a lot of these articles and columns on social media also. Random Forays, Hindustan Times is my column. Tomorrow also it will appear in the Hindustan Times. I just wrote it before this talk of mine. And today I've written on uplifting our consciousness, raising the level of our consciousness. So I'm going to talk about that for 5 minutes. What are we thinking most of the time? At work, we are thinking, chalo, ye target hai, this project, this report, this presentation, this meeting, this call. This is our life. Revenue, profit loss, balance sheet. This is normally our existence in the private sector. If you are in the government sector, then it will be Sahab ne bulaya hai, file, telephone by the PA, so and so meeting, so and so conference, so and so VC. All these things are there. But work-related consciousness is normal. It is okay because that is what we have to do. What are we thinking during our transit time home to office in normal days when lockdown is not there? What are we thinking in other times when we are not working? Are we thinking, oh no, that fellow has complained against me, he got a promotion before me, or that fellow, the other client was so bad to me? So we are normally thinking about negativities at times. If we change our consciousness to thinking about something which makes us more creative, creativity could be ways of working, could be ways of playing something. Maybe I can take out half an hour to play badminton. Maybe I can do some music related activity, sing or dance or play some instrument. Maybe I never started painting, but I can start sketching. And I start sketching sceneries or people or portraits. I never had time, but somehow I find that talent. Maybe I write poetry, or I write prose, or I write short stories. Maybe I start reading famous authors' books, Dalai Lama's autobiography, Paramahansa Yogananda's autobiography, Usain Bolt autobiography, or even read books by Nandan Nilekani, Thomas Friedman, Yuval Noah Harari. I read because it helps me to understand myself better, the world better, and reading is a very calm activity. You will agree with me. When you are watching the TV news, it's not a calm activity. It's a disturbing activity. उसको बंद करके किताब पढ़ लीजिए आधा घंटा, you will feel refreshed, you'll feel calm, you'll feel successful. So reading books, writing, painting, sports, photography, music, the arts, become an all-rounder. And let me also say I'm a motivational speaker, so spend time watching inspiring videos. This is a great era in which technology really helps us. You know that in WhatsApp, etc., or in YouTube or Facebook, many kinds of videos are there. All of us want to see things like cricket is great, athletics is great. But if we are watching tamasha, somebody's in trouble and we are having fun watching somebody is getting arrested, koi fayda nahi. There's nothing to be gained. Discussing all kinds of unfortunate incidents in the country, nothing to be gained. Constructive criticism of somebody is better than destructive criticism. I'm going to close with one other tip and then I'll request you for questions. The last tip that I must give you in this context is we have to understand how to speak to whom, in front of whom, and in what manner. How to speak to whom, in front of whom, and in what manner. That will make us more successful in life. How? Supposing I have to tell one subordinate that he was not right, he did not do a good job. I can tell him. I can call him aside and tell him that you better rectify this by tomorrow or by next week or next month or next time. But if I tell him in front of 4 other people who are junior to him, why should I do that? He doesn't mind the scolding from me. He minds that those 4 people were also present. What does it mean? means that he is not able to comprehend why I should have said it in front of those four. If I say something to my mother in front of my wife, or to my wife in front of my mother, they don't mind that I said something. They mind that I said it in front of the other. We have to be conscious of our tongue, of our speech, of our behavior, of our conduct, of our mannerisms, demeanor. I'm a writer, so I keep using different words. So you must try and understand your reaction quotient to people and be aware. There are young boys and men who swear in front of all kinds of people. मन से वो बात निकल जाती है और जबान से निकल जाती है. Those swear words become a part of their personality. And whether ladies are there or anybody is in the train or whatever, they don't care. Whereas one has to be careful. So if we become like that, conscious of who is around, what is happening, and if we ourselves have to criticize someone or fire someone, we do it alone or in front of people who are of the same level, so that the other person doesn't feel bad. These are great tips. Ultimately, you have to win the battle of life. What is the battle of life? The battle of life is in the mind. You win the battle of mind by calming your emotions, by becoming more peaceful and cheerful, by becoming less angry. If you have anger management, you are great, because in today's era, people are losing their temper unnecessarily. Remaining cool and calm is the biggest victory, biggest strength. People who are calm are strong people. People who lose their temper are weak people. With that, I'll say thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Globally request you to please take the further proceedings.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was really a very enlightening session. Yes,
Thank you.
definitely emotional quotient plays a very important role. Then all those emotional dramas and TV serials and whatnot is happening right now. Sushant Singh era that was going on in the news channels. Yeah, all that is entertaining, but yes, very disturbing, definitely, no doubt about it. And taking a, if you could just share the name of the book on the screen, on the chat
Yeah,
box.
I'll share the name of the book. I'm not able to get out of this PPT which I've got. Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, I see it at the top. Okay. Yeah, now I got it.
So if we have any questions out here.
Yeah, if you have any questions, if you want any, I can also, if you don't have a question, I'll tell you a story, but if you have a question.
Yeah, there's one question. Should you tell your boss how you feel?
Sorry?
Should you
Please say that
tell
again.
your boss? Should one tell their boss how they feel about whatever their feelings are?
So, who is asking this question?
This is from Mr. Santosh.
Okay. We don't want to give him his name away because he might be talking about, his boss might be also listening. So, Santosh is enough. Okay. The point is that I have a chapter in my book. It is called Handling Difficult Bosses. Handling difficult bosses. Now, your boss may or may not be difficult, but the boss is somebody who we have to communicate with. So in that, I've given an idea that do not keep on feeling bad about what the boss is doing or feeling scared too much. Find an opportunity, go to the boss and say, sir, can I talk to you for 5 minutes? And if that boss doesn't have time, it's a different thing. Otherwise, whenever you get those 5 minutes, tell that boss, that, sir, this is very good, that is very good. Start with some praise. And then say, sir, if this can be done like this, instead of like, for example, sir, you changed the policy regarding incentives last week. Can we do this instead of that? Thoda sa idea dekhe. So can we basically be a little constructive in our criticism, even with the boss? We can go and say, sir, this is a good idea, but can we alter it a little bit? And if the boss has been a little tough with you or rough with you, go and tell him that, sir, I am a little uncomfortable and I want you to tell me how I can improve. If the boss is a reasonable person, he will tell you what he expects. If he's not a reasonable person, then he will not tell you and he will keep shouting at you. So your point will become then that you have to basically communicate with him. If you make an effort to communicate with your boss, then the boss will be on the back foot. Even if he's not a good, receptive boss, at least you have tried to communicate twice or thrice. If tomorrow the boss becomes nasty to you, you can go to the next level and tell them, and they will say that, did you talk to him? You say, yes, sir, I tried 3 times to tell him. Then you will be on the right footing. These are the points I've given in my book, Finding Success Within. And we can go to the next question. Yeah, I saw a comment somewhere in the chat. Okay, Santosh, I hope your boss is a good boss. Okay. We have more questions?
Am I audible? Yeah. What are the tips for mid-age crisis?
Tips for what crisis?
Mid-age crisis, emotional.
Mid-age crisis, tips for mid-age crisis. Okay, tips for mid-age crisis are, see, the point is that life is about a journey. We are not stopping at stations in this life, right? I'm a writer, so I talk a little philosophy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I am a writer, so I talk a little philosophically at times, but I must tell you that life is about the journey. What we have to do is keep on evaluating our life from time to time. We have to keep on evaluating, are we headed in the right direction? Are we headed in the right manner? So what is the thing that will make us more comfortable in life if we are basically introspecting from time to time? Now, middle age is something which will come to everybody. You're not as young as you used to be, but you are not as old as you are going to be, right? So think in that manner and think that you are a state of mind instead of a state of body. Now, if people talk to me, I see my classmates at times. There was a joke which came in our group. It said, I don't want to meet my classmates. They are all very old. It was a joke. But he himself or she himself is the same age, right? The point is that if your mindset is such that you feel young and energetic, you feel that you have achieved some objectives of life, but you can achieve much more in the future years. And as you know, today, 70 years old people are actually what people used to be at 50. And 50-year-old people are what people used to be at 30, 35. So it's very different today. Middle age, even in a study, it says, comes at 60, 65. Why? People don't live to 120, but the mindset of middle age comes at 60, 65 to fit people. So don't feel middle-aged and don't feel that you are losing the battle of life. I find myself after VRS for the last 3 years, I have more Instagram following, more YouTube following, more Facebook, more whatever. This is not as if it matters that much. But what matters is your happiness index. If you're comfortable and happy in life, you're winning the battle of all ages. Thank you. Next question.
That's perfectly put, sir. One question. Despite positive thinking and having patience and calmness, there are people with excess of ambition who are addicted to success and brings enmity or malice against you. Please advise on this.
Yeah, I totally agree. There are people like that. So we exist in the real world. We don't exist in a theoretical world, right? So obviously, whatever I'm telling you is going to be peppered with lots of different kinds of forces. You cannot have, you cannot have a clean slate, or you cannot have totally 100% happiness everywhere. There will be ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. And those ups and downs are part of life. So we have to understand that. You have to understand that these people are not in our control. I cannot change them. If I cannot change them, then what is the point in trying to change them? All I can do is to just distance myself from them in some way. And distance myself, we can't at times because the company is, it's important to have that company or they are a part of our lives. What we can do is to distance the impact they have on us. We can reduce the impact they have on us. So if you can do that by being a little impervious, as they say, you are engineers, so you understand, impervious to what they are saying and not getting bogged down by what they are saying, then I think you'll be able to do it because you will not be in dire straits to that extent. And when you are not affected that much by what people say and do, then be calm. Don't try to change people. Try to change yourself. That is more important. If you become receptive to positivity and not receptive to negativity, then you are doing well. Okay, this is just the cover of my book. I'll just share it. Can you see the cover of my book here? Glory, can you see that?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So this is the cover of the book. This has all the answers that I have found in my life and my career and 52 life skills. I hope I'm looking like the cover because this photo was taken only 1 or 2 years ago. But the point is that there are so many things which are happening in life which cannot be discussed in a short session. I have 3 million views on YouTube to my talks, 30 lakh views. There are TEDx talks, there are Josh talks, there are other videos. You can watch them when you have time, share them. You can follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of posts there and I would like to be in touch with you all. You can be in touch on LinkedIn. I think professionals should all be having LinkedIn accounts. You can meet whenever the lockdown is over. The point is that we have to understand that success is not success without that inner victory. Inner victories matter. Outer victories are not as important as inner victory. Any other question or should we end?
There's one more question. How was your IAS journey of life?
Very nice question. Who is the questioner?
Mr. Ajit Yadav.
Ajit ji, so I must, Mr. Yadav. Okay, I must tell you that the IAS is still the premier service of the country, and I spent 26 years in the HCS and IAS. I was very comfortable and happy. I did some work, I got some name. I was able to set up the IT Park of Chandigarh. I also got the E-Sampark National Award, a couple of other things. I don't want to go on listing those out. But I resigned because I became a speaker in service. I started talking to youngsters, professionals, government officers, delivering talks on emotional intelligence, leadership, people skills, public speaking skills, as was mentioned in the introduction. So I realized that I want to be a full-time or most time public speaker. Now I'm a visiting professor and speaker. I'm a writer. I'm an advisor, independent advisor to some organizations. And I find it very more comfortable. I'm very happy with my life outside the IAS now. I would have been in the IAS for another 10 years or 11 years. And but I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing. I think it is still the premier service. When youngsters ask me, should we prepare for civil services? I say, yes, you must. Because if you prepare, either you will get in or you won't get in. But your level of awareness, consciousness, knowledge will increase manifold, a lot. You must prepare, you must give it 2 years or 3 years, but don't sit idle at home and prepare. Do a job, do something else at the same time. It is not good to spend 3 years preparing and then maybe you don't get through, then you will feel bad. So keep on learning something else, doing a light job and studying. I'm also mentor to a couple of IAS academies. Vivek IAS Career Academy is there where my friend has set it up. Online it is available, offline also. So you can be in touch. I'll guide any youngster who is there. But wonderful to be connected with you all. And I hope we become friends forever and we'll keep in touch. Anything else?
Yeah, definitely, sir. There's one more question. Is there a translated version of the book in Hindi also? going to come up?
Who is asking that question? What's the name?
Mr. Jitendra Vyas.
So Jitendra ji, for your information, I'm actually, you are very right. I am in the process of editing the Hindi version. There are some errors in the typing. I'm just going through that. It will take another month perhaps for them to publish it. It should be done from my end in about 10 days. Uske baad maybe another month. Yes, the Hindi version is coming very soon, so you'll be happy to see it.
That's good. Very nice. Yeah, really. One more question from one more point of view, I would say, from Mr. Maninderjeet Singh, related to calmness and laziness. Although they are different, but how does it affect a person's confidence and impact of his words while presenting his point in a group of people?
Yeah, laziness and calmness are two different things. Laziness is basically about not working enough. Calmness is about working actively but being calm in the mind. So as I showed you the quote of Paramahansa Yogananda, he said, be calmly active and actively calm. So I think being calm in the mind but being physically active is the way to be. And your mind will take better decisions. Laziness is something which we should get out of. We have to shrug off our laziness, be creative. Creativity will make us love life more, get up in the morning with fire in the belly, enthusiasm, fire, and wanting to do something better. So I think you can balance calmness and activity.
Very right, sir. Very rightly said. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks the entire participants, everyone from our ASHRAE Mumbai chapter, ASHRAE Chandigarh chapter, ASHRAE India chapter. Thanks.
Yes, somebody is asking for my email ID. I'll just write it down. So please be in touch, and thank you for inviting me. I'm just typing it here. You can be in touch on Instagram or LinkedIn also, and I'll be very happy to connect. This is my email ID. And once again, good wishes to you all. I hope you have great, successful careers, happy lives, and all joy to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Should we end the session?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thanks to all the coordinators for the session. Thanks a lot, ASHRAE Chandigarh chapter, for organizing such a wonderful session. That was very enlightening. Thanks a lot for all the participants and the speaker. Thank you so much. Please end the session.
Okay.
Mani, you can stop and leave the session.